Y'all, we're making high protein fudge. Come on. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're tackling high protein, low carb fudge. I've seen a lot of these recipes here and there. We've done a lot of fudge recipes, but none with the dreaded cottage cheese. Don't turn off the video. I've got a solution. Calm down. So I was scrolling my feed the other day and I saw these pictures in this little video here. Hello, that looks freaking amazing. So this is our friend Brenda over at Sugar Free Mom. She said that she had also been seeing these recipes for low carb cottage cheese fudge, and she didn't really like the looks of them because they looked kind of grainy or clumpy and not smooth and creamy like fudge. So she worked on her own recipe. This was sort of late last year. So today we're going to tackle her recipe for keto chocolate peanut butter cottage cheese fudge. Again, this is by sugarfreemom.com. I'm going to give you her link down here on the bottom of the screen. It'll also be in the video description below. Now, the first thing everybody probably says is, if you pick up cottage cheese, I'm going to turn this video off. So a lot of people asked her, what can we replace it with? And that seems to be a common question among many of you, and the answer is often ricotta cheese. She even mentions in the notes of the recipe that you could probably do that, but she had not tried it. I looked through the comments, nobody else had really posted that they had tried it, so that's what I'm going to do today. We're going to make her original recipe with cottage cheese. A lot of people in the comments said, I can't even tell this tastes like cottage cheese. This is fantastic. But I know a lot of you are weary of that. So we're going to make it with a second version with the ricotta cheese. We're going to compare the taste, the texture, and the nutrition of both of those. So let's get started on this first version. Right? Let's go. All right, so let's begin with Brenda's original version. This is the cottage cheese low carb keto chocolate peanut butter fudge. That's a lot of words. Again, link here. Also, check it out down there. She did the hard work. She deserves the traffic. So the way this starts is with some cottage cheese. Obviously, she said to use the regular full-fat cottage cheese. She thinks that gives it a creamier texture. It also tends to be a little bit lower in carbs than some of the others. So what I've done here is, this is a cup of the full-fat cottage cheese. I've got it in my food processor. You can use a blender. Seems to be a food processor is a little easier for this to work. So I'm just going to pulse this real quick. It's going to get loud, but we're going to smooth this down until it's smooth and creamy. So let's do that now. Okay, so I hope you can see that's fairly creamy there. We're going to add the peanut butter to this. This is a cup of no sugar added natural peanut butter, and this is where it can sort of get thick, and she has a solution to that as well. You can also just do this all together, the peanut butter and the cottage cheese, but I just wanted to make sure the cottage cheese was as smooth as I could possibly get it before I, threw this peanut butter into the mix. So we're going to do this. I'm going to just make sure that this is smooth, and then we'll come back and add the next ingredient. Okay, so as you can see, this is some of the people in her comments mentioned that it got a little difficult and thick, particularly in a blender at this stage. So what she did, she altered her recipe, which is already in the printed recipe. So to this, she adds in 2 tablespoons of melted salted butter. So that goes into this mixture before we continue. And this sort of makes it, loosens things up a little bit to make it a little more manageable to deal with. So I'm just going to make sure this is mixed in by letting it spin a couple more times. And then we're going to come back and we're going to work on the chocolate portion of this. So meet you right back here. So as you can see, we've got this pretty smooth. The melted butter did loosen things up quite a bit. So this is going to wait on us here for a moment because now we need to turn our attention to the chocolate portion of this. And she doesn't use cocoa powder like a lot of recipes did. That makes things kind of dry and chalky, and she wants smooth and creamy. So we're going to use a sugar-free chocolate chip. You can use the Lily's, you can use the Chalk Zero, whatever it is. We're going to use about a cup of those, and you can melt it in the microwave on 30-second increments. A lot of you don't want to do that. I'll often do that on these videos, and I always have people say, why do you do that? Just put it in a double boiler, blah, blah, blah. Of course I know how to do that, but most people are just trying to get in and out of the kitchen. But today, to make everybody happy, I'm going to show you that obviously you're just going to use a clear bowl or glass bowl on top of a little bit of water over about medium, low, medium heat. And this will gently melt this butter and chocolate. So we've got 2 tablespoons of butter in the bowl. We're going to add in a cup of the sugar-free, those things, what are they called? Chocolate chips, Lord. Pull it together, Wesley. All right, I'm just going to quickly melt this down. I'll speed this up so you don't have to watch it, and we'll go from there. All right, see you back here when this is melted. Okay, so I got the melted chocolate and put it in here. It all happened pretty quickly. I just want to make sure that all this is mixed together. And before it solidifies, you want to make sure that you can pour it out of here and get it into your pan. So hold on. Okay, so this looks nice and smooth and creamy. And we're going to take an 8x4 baking pan, baking loaf pan, she said, and line it with parchment. This is just a glass 8x5 casserole, actually, storage casserole that I think will work great. So get this out of here, and I don't know how quickly you want to move because obviously this is going to start to set up soon. Now, she also said you could optionally use some chocolate liquid monk fruit sweetener if you felt that it wasn't sweet enough. I'm using the Lily's chips, so I think they're pretty sweet, and I don't think I needed any extra. I haven't really tasted it, just what kind of spilled down on my fingers a little bit, and it tastes sweet and fine. So I'm not going to add anything to that. So you get it spread out in your loaf pan. And then this is going to go chill in the fridge for an hour. And then she has an optional peanut butter drizzle topping that can go on top. So we're probably going to make that just to gild the lily, as it were. So I'm going to spread this on here, get it all smoothed out on top. And then we're going to throw this in the fridge, and I'll be back. And I'm just going to quickly, I'm not going to go through each step. I'm going to make the exact same recipe. I'm going to make the exact same recipe. I'm just going to swap out the cottage cheese for ricotta cheese. All right, I'll see you here in just a second. Okay, so before we continue, I want to give a huge thank you to the sponsor of this video. They are actually a returning sponsor, and that is a company called Foreo. You've heard me talk about them in the past. I fell in love with their products over a year ago now with a little device called the UFO. This is a little technology device that actually moisturizes and does some wonderful things, but that's not what I'm really here to talk about today. I'm here to tell you again about the FAQ 202 silicone LED face mask. Now, if you are not familiar with the benefits of LED light therapy, near infrared light therapy, I encourage you to do some research. There is some very strong science on this related to wrinkle reduction, age reduction, sun damage reduction, improvement of skin texture. You get the benefits of this modern science in the next generation of silicone LED masks. I'm able to use this for 10 to 15 minutes a day right here in my home and get clinic quality results. Some of their studies show a reduction of like 32% in wrinkle reduction in as little as 2 weeks. This thing is wireless and ultralight. You can put it on, do what you want to do, read, cook, work in the kitchen, do chores or whatever you need to do. It feels weird perhaps thinking about a man talking about this, but I just turned 50, and whether you're a man or a woman, that comes with a lot of baggage and a lot of worry and a lot of neglect that I've had for my skin over the years, and now is the time to make a change. And the FAQ 202 allows me to do that. I've got a couple of favorite treatments that I use regularly. One of those is the 15-minute repairing session, which is a treatment to combat the natural signs of skin damage. But one of the other nice ones is a quick refresh, which is just a 5-minute boost to help with the brightness of your skin and the smoothness and clarity. And within just 5 minutes, I can tell a marked difference in the quality of my skin. As you can see, there are hundreds of points of light that help direct the near-infrared light directly to the skin, and there are over 8 different settings because each color of LED light has different benefits to the skin. So thank you, Foreo, for sponsoring this video and for giving me the opportunity to experience clinic quality LED light therapy right here in my home. If you guys want to check this out, now is the time. Foreo is actually celebrating its birthday, so they have some amazing deals going on. If you will click the link in the video description below and use my code WES35, you'll get 35% off on almost all of the Foreo products, and that discount is stackable on items that are already discounted. So again, thank you, Foreo. Be sure to use the link in the video description. Use my code WES35, gives you 35% off on almost all of the Foreo products, and that discount is stackable. All right, let's get finished on this recipe. Come on. Okay, so now we're going to make the second variation of this. Again, it's exactly the same as her original recipe, which is in the link here on the screen. We're just swapping out ricotta cheese for the cottage cheese. So I'm not even gonna wipe out the food processor much because there's not a whole lot of change in the ingredients. So I'm gonna speed this up and I'll meet you right back here right when we pour it in. Okay, so let's get this in our second prepared little glass loaf pan. Again, I'm using like a little glass storage container just because it has nice square edges. And my loaf pans are all like 9-inch loaf pans. So I think they're a little too large for this. And now from here, I'm gonna go let these just live in the fridge for about an hour. We'll take them out of their containers, and then I can't decide if I'm going to do the drizzle or not. I was looking at the calorie counts, and her calorie counts don't include the beautiful drizzle, and it does look good, but you see why I may not do that. I might just do it for the thumbnail photo. We'll see. I don't know. So, all right, I'll meet you right back here in just a few minutes, and this will all be set up and ready to go, and we'll go from there and chat about what this tastes like. See you in just a bit. All right, guys, so we are back. It's been about 2 hours now that these have been in the fridge. And I know I mentioned that there was a peanut butter drizzle on top of her recipe. And if you take a look at the video, you will see a beautiful topping on there. That is optional. And I have optionally chosen not to include it. You're going to find out why, because I took a look at the macros and I just don't want to add any more calories to what is already here. She does mention in her notes that it's 4 grams of net carbs. If the cottage cheese version is 4 grams of net carbs per piece of fudge, and that does not include the peanut butter drizzle. So having said that, this one here is our first recipe. This is her original that's made with cottage cheese. This makes 16 pieces. I've cut this into 16 pieces so you can get a sort of a rough idea. And this one over here, it's a little bit grainier, I think. This is the version where I just swapped out ricotta cheese for the cottage cheese for those of you who are averse to having cottage cheese. I also should mention that I used the Lily's milk chocolate chips. I prefer that over the dark chocolate. I don't know why, it's just my personal preference. So I've adjusted my macros here accordingly. So talking about nutrition, if you make either one of these, if you make this one here with the cottage cheese, one piece, there's 16 pieces here, one piece is 176 calories. You've got 6 grams of protein, 15 grams of fat. You've got 5 total carbs. You've got 1 gram of fiber, and that comes out to 4 net carbs. Again, there's some sugar alcohols in there based on the Lily's chocolate chips, but 4 net carbs. And not a lot of difference between the second version. So this one over here Same recipe. This is ricotta cheese, full fat ricotta cheese. This will depend on your brand, of course. This is 16 servings. If you eat one piece, it's 186 calories, so about 10 calories more. You've got 5.5 grams of protein, slightly less. You got 16 grams of fat, 1 gram more of fat. You got 5.5 total carbs. You got 1 gram of fiber, so that's 4.5 net carbs. So 4 net carbs, 4.5 net carbs. Protein's about the same. Everything's about the same. The calories to me seem a little high, but we know that a lot of keto recipes tend to be. What do they taste like? What's the texture like? That's what everybody wants to know. So I'm going to take one of these. These have been in the fridge for a while, and you're going to have to store them in the fridge. And they look good. They didn't firm up completely. There's a little bit of, the butter leaves a little bit of oil, but that's sort of the deal with keto and low carb fudges. Without the real sugar to set things up, it's kind of hard to do. So what's it taste like? Whew. That's thick, y'all. It's peanut buttery, chocolatey, kind of fudgy. No taste of cottage cheese at all. Doesn't smell like it, doesn't taste like it. I mean, it's good. One piece is a lot. Hold on. Okay. Super creamy. It doesn't have a texture really of traditional fudge. A lot of these recipes that I've noticed call, not hers, but a lot of them call for you to let these set up in the freezer. That may help a little bit. It seems a little bit soft. Could just be the tempering of the chocolate. Taste is fantastic. Fantastic. Texture is beautiful. I would call this like a peanut butter chew, maybe. It's very heavy on the peanut butter. It is definitely peanut butter chocolate fudge and not chocolate peanut butter fudge. But so how does this compare to our version that's made out of ricotta cheese? This one actually seems to be a little bit firmer, actually. Could just be, I mean, ricotta cheese is a little more solid, I think, than cottage cheese. But what's it taste like? It's hard to hold on to. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Ooh. Hold on. Okay. Oh. Fantastic. Honestly, those are 80% the same. This one is a little sweeter with the ricotta cheese, a little more natural sweetness, a little creamier. Comparatively, when I ate the cottage cheese, when I never tasted cottage cheese, it didn't taste that saltiness, didn't taste like cottage cheese at all. And it still doesn't after having the ricotta cheese version, but I do taste where some of the savoriness of the cottage cheese might have been in here, but you would have never noticed that if you didn't directly compare them. If I were making this again, I always keep cottage cheese on hand, so I'd probably make the cottage cheese, but if I were just gonna shop for this and do it, I'd buy the ricotta cheese. These were great. These were good. I'm hoping that since I've cut them, I'm gonna separate them and put them on a plate and let them chill in the fridge by themselves separated. Hopefully they'll set up a little bit more. If you've made these, let me know if you've had trouble with them setting up. Hers look a lot more firm than mine. Could be the type of chocolate, but yeah, so there you have it. Chocolate peanut butter, high protein cottage cheese fudge. Yeah, these are pretty good. So thank you, Sugar-Free Mom, for that. All right, guys, I say it every time. These videos are a way for me to maintain my low carb way of eating. Looking in the end of that camera as often as I can helps keep me honest. So I appreciate that you have come along for the journey. I'm going to ask you to please hit the like button and hit the bell button down below if you hit subscribe, so you'll be notified just as soon as I release a new video. Hitting like and leaving a comment is the most important thing you can do, and it doesn't cost a dime. It lets other people know that this might be a video that they want to check out. Follow me over on Facebook and Instagram, just Highfalutin Low Carb at both of those places. talk a little more frequently over there, so you can keep up with what's going on day to day. So I invite you to check that out. Thanks again to the sponsor of this video, Foreo. Be sure to use the link in the video description below and my code WEST35. Get 35% off of almost all the Foreo products right now, and that discount is stackable. Lastly, I need to thank my rock stars, my Patreon members. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's like the tip jar for the internet. It lets people like you who enjoy what people like me do here on YouTube. You can give $1 or $2 a month just to keep the train on the tracks, and you get to see your name over here with all these other rock stars who keep all this going. So truly, thank you to all of them. All right, guys, I love you. I'll see you in the next video. And remember, today is a great day to have a great day.